presents The Bar Exam.
To say. Figured when I wrote this letter I'd be flying on a plane. Better here than not at all, cause who knows how much time we got remaining. Don't wanna leave nothing unsaid, so I'ma say it. McCullen, you saved my life with this music. Without it I'd probably be on these streets acting stupid, scaring moms half to death, bringing dirty money home. Then end up a number with a cell that's so enclosed. Not making too much money though, don't like the way I'm living, but at least I'm living. Not in the ground or a statistic, I got a vision, I know how I'ma execute it, and you taught me how to do it.
Man, it's nothing to it.
But hear me out though, you took a high school kid, employed him, showed him a different angle before the system destroyed him. You showed me peace and that beef is better avoided, so the things you teach I keep when life gets too annoying.
Alright, so the bar exam, everyone. So what we want to do is get a quick examination of the bars for the song that we just recorded. So kind of break down line by line, lyric by lyric, the meaning behind the bars that were written.
Alright, let's start from the top then. First one is, honestly, I don't know what to say. Figured when I wrote this letter, I'd be flying on a plane. Better here than not at all, because who knows how much time we got remaining. Don't want to leave nothing unsaid, so I'm going to say it. Alright? That was kind of a kick-off, just being completely transparent with the audience. Because, talking about someone who's inspired me, and pretty much saved my life with music, it's not an easy thing to do. At least in my case. So it's like, if that's how I'm feeling with this song, I want the audience, the people who are listening, to feel it as well. All right? And on top of everything else, who knows, when we leave this earth, at what time, and in what method. So when I do go, hopefully long time from now, I don't want to leave anything unsaid with the people that I need to say it to. Right? I want to go being completely honest and transparent with everyone. Right? And then this one. McCullen, you saved my life with this music. Without it, I'd probably be on these streets acting stupid, scaring moms half to death, bringing dirty money home, to end up a number with a cell that's so enclosed. Right? That one is a direct shout out to McCullen, because when I first found his studio, I was in a very bad spot. Mentally, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Right? And I had all this anger from everything that's happened, and I needed an outlet for it, but I never could find it. So I figured, I'd go to the studio, see what I can do there. And lo and behold, McCullen's there, helping other musicians like myself, and from there it's just kind of been uphill, to put it all short. This might boost his ego a little bit, but McCullen at that time was a lot like a father figure to me. And I don't really voice that often, but it's like, when I say he saved my life with music, he genuinely saved my life with music. Right? Then this next one. Right, not making too much money though, don't like the way I'm living, but at least I'm living. Not in the ground or a statistic, I got a vision. I know how I'm going to execute it, and you taught me how to do it. Right? That's pretty much saying, that's acknowledging my life currently. Right? I'll be completely honest, I'm not making too much money, and my living status could be better, but I'm appreciating the fact that I'm alive when a lot of people aren't. And I appreciate having a vision of what I want to do in life when a lot of people don't. And I know that I have him to thank for that. Right? And then this next one. You took a high school kid, employed him, showed him a different angle before the system destroyed him. You showed me peace, and that beef is better avoided, so the things you teach I keep when life gets too annoying. Right? Pretty much when I, started getting deeper into music life at my first studio, he offered me a job. All right, as the music producer, pretty much, the teacher's assistant. All right, and he paid me not in cash, but one $5 meal from Little Caesars once a month. But the thing was, that was more or less a bonus to me because I knew and I know what Mumford Studio and the people within did for me. And if they did that for me, who knows what I can do for somebody else.
Now, when you say you found McCullough's studio, tell me how that classroom and studio kind of coexists.
The classroom and the studio, it coexists because at first, it was actually a class at Mumford Studio. People would learn media, music, all of that. But he would have the studio open for a few extra hours after school for people who wanted to record on their own terms.
And so, and having that ability to go after school, after hours, something you took advantage of. What was that like? What was that? How many people are we talking would be there? How many days a week? How late would you stay? Kind of break that down for us.
Pretty much, I believe it was Monday through Thursday. Friday, everybody's trying to get home, including the teachers. Absolutely. But Monday through Thursday, it was pretty much everyone who made an appointment, right? Even, if I was teacher's assistant, I was there to help people, right? There wasn't really any special perks to it. So, whoever wanted to sign up, rather musicians, producers, anybody who would want to work on their craft, they'd sign up with Mr. McCullough. They'd set up an appointment like how actual studios work, professional studios work. And they'd come on that day, and if they're late, they get scratched off. It goes to the next person. It was structured. Yeah.
Okay. And how many hours? So you said Monday through Thursday. We're talking like 3 to what? After school, what time would it end?
3 to 5, sometimes 3 to 4:30.
All right. So that sounds like, in raw numbers, that sounds like an extra 8 hours a week that the teacher is putting in with students who are willing to sign up and come to get this extra help, guidance, tutelage, etc.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And for you working at, your payment was a pizza.
Yes.
But you said, if I'm not if I don't want to misquote you, it wasn't really about the pizza. What was it about? What was it about?
I knew and I know what that studio did for me in my tough time. And if I'm able to help somebody who's going through something similar with music or something worse with music, then I feel like it's my obligation to do that.
That's a strong word, obligation. So you feel obligated to help others as you were helped, to pass that along.
Yes. Because what's a blessing if you don't use that blessing to bless others?
Got you. Your reaction when you is this your first time hearing the verse? Or have you heard it before today?
Today was my first time hearing the verse.
All right. Okay.
But help him introduce himself and your name, who you are, and what you do, and how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, so my name is Zach McCullough. I teach at Mumford High School for the past, it's going into my 9th year right now. I teach music and media production, which is basically studio, creative stuff, and then I also teach Spanish too. Yeah.
So, did you know that, when did you first find out that this was happening? Like, there was being a verse, basically a verse written in your honor, right? And one of your former students would be reciting and recording this verse, and the subject matter of the verse is you. When did you first hear that was happening?
I found out a few weeks ago. I was in Orlando on vacation. Quan hit me up. And he was like, yo, we got this idea for a video. One of your students, Reggie, wants to basically make some sort of dedication to you. I didn't really know what it was or what it was about. But I said, yeah, man, it's Reggie, you know. Yeah. And, man, when you spend so much time with people, it's like it's a school and it's a studio. But once you spend a certain amount of time with people, you kind of become family, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whether you like it or not, and family don't always get along. You know, sometimes family argue, family disagree, family see things differently, but you family. You always going to be there, you know, and that's kind of what it turned into. So, yeah. That's
all right. So when you hear the verse for the first time today, what were your thoughts? Like, what was your raw reaction to hearing it?
Goosebumps. Yeah. Goosebumps, man. Reggie is special. A lot of kids that come through Mumford is special, but Reggie is different, man. If you would have seen the path he took, it's like you went from Peter Parker to Spider-Man. Like, you know, like it's the most average whatever, but you don't know that behind the scenes at night he out saving the world with his pen. You know what I'm saying? And so like he really do it from the heart. And so yeah, I appreciate a guy like that. And so yeah, you always want to show love to those who show love to you.
Gotcha. Now Reggie said that he looks at you like a father figure, man. Is this your first time hearing him say
That's
that?
definitely my first time hearing that too, man. But I can understand it though, you know. And I kind of look at my students like they like my kids, you know. We family, you know. So it's like, man, I know, and I also know too how important it is as a black man to just have somebody there for you consistently. You know, I didn't grow up with my dad, and so hearing him say that is inspiring to me, you know. But yeah, it took me back, but it's a proud thing too, though, you know. Yeah.
So Reggie said that his payment was a $5 hot and ready once a month. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, man, because just let's go with that. Tell us a little bit about that and how that and what that meant for you and what that meant for him and how that came about.
I think that sometimes growing up in the city, Detroit, any city, man, you could be from Baltimore, Philly, anywhere. I think a lot of times it's hard to see the forest from the trees, and sometimes at the end of that forest, it's like it's gold, it's treasure, it's everything, but you don't know because you're surrounded by the jungle, right? So structure, small things like that, right? A lot of times people think teaching in the city that, man, these kids is bad, no, they looking for structure. Kids love and they crave structure. So just giving them that's all it was. It was structure and his love, you know. He did the rest. I didn't write his music for him. I never wrote his music for him. I didn't make his beats for him. That's all him. They like, you just got to give him an opportunity and they'll run with it, you know. It would be like if I had Brian with me, if I had LeBron James with me, and he in high school, nobody know about him yet, but I don't give him the ball. I got to give him that ball. I got to give him that pen. I got to give him that time. And he just going to run with it, you know. It's a lot of LeBron, it's a lot of Reggies out here, but they never get their chance. And so he just took the ball and ran with it. And it's no way he won't make it. It's no way none of these people won't make it. Yeah.
I wanted to add something. Not only was it the pizza, but I mean 2 hours a day after school, like that's, and I'm sure you weren't getting paid for that.
No,
you know, so that was another sacrifice, right?
Yeah, it was. But again, like I said, like if you would have asked LeBron high school coach, yo, how much would they have to have charged you to be his coach? It's priceless. You know, seeing them grow up, seeing them become the men that they become, because they got it in them. But it's like when an artist start off with like a stone, it's nothing there. But eventually it just chip away, chip away, chip away. Every time they come, they get a little better. They get a little sharper. To see him over that summer, because summer break in high school is a big thing too. To see him come back from one summer to the next, and it's like, you grew. And then what's crazy about Reggie too is he graduated during the pandemic year. Nobody had the pandemic. Nope. So you go from all these years of high school, you thinking senior year gonna be one thing, virtual. Now you ain't got that brotherhood, but he was still in the studio class on video doing what he gotta do. And it's like, how can you not wanna help and nurture and just let that grow, you know?
I used to come up to Mumford on Mondays. And was it Monday or was it Friday? I think it was Mondays. But I was in the studio. I came down to the studio, and this was at a time where Mumford was going through a rash of fights. Like, they was bumping, like, every single day. And people from that didn't even go to school to come up there to fight. They'd be outside fighting. And so I was in the studio, and it's crazy thing about the studio, the window was right out, you can see right outside, right?
Yeah.
And there was a fight going on. And I think somebody, because y'all was by the back door, you weren't supposed to go out that back door. And people was like, yo, they out there fighting. You saw people going out the back door.
Right.
And it was Cy, it was Bill, it was Samir, it was Reggie. And, you know, all these guys, they were all there. And they looked out there, and I'm waiting for them to run out there to the fight. And it's like, man, we ain't about to go out there. And they went back to studio time. And I was like, yo, this is, and I asked them, I said, what kept y'all from going out there? And it was like, man, you know, we in the studio, you know what I'm saying? And so that shows, like, in that moment, I saw, like, yo, this is a deterrent from them going out, like, the urge that everybody else had to go out there, they was able to, that structure you was saying, that structure kept them from being like, yo, I'm about to run out there too because I got something better in here. So I just wanted to bring that up. I saw that firsthand. So yeah,
That's a good point, man.
yeah.
Started from scratch, we straight up out of the projects. You incorrect, you lose your life just for your dialect. Before you do it, think carefully who it might affect. Is it worth taking a risk for the velvet vet? They always say that quiet is just what quiet gets. They think I got the Midas touch or the Midas step. I'm sweet though, but still bitter like vinaigrette. I had to sharpen up my mind, build my intellect. I survived through the juggle and the nonsense. Since I graduated, I've been living with no fine print. I do this for my major ever since I was a private. It's not about where you from, it's about where you going. Would you fight for your life or fight for belongings? Take a slice of the pie and share it with others. Go and grab another slice, now share it with no one. I'm unbigoted by skin, they show that you can't spot.
Would introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, please.
My name is Jamari Winston. I'm a lyricist for Lyricist Society. I'm just here to give you a little breakdown about my verse. Like, just the first four goes like, started from scratch, you're straight up out of the progress. You're out of the project. You incorrect, you lose your life just for your dialect. Before you do it, think carefully who it might affect. Is it worth taking the risk for the velvet vet? Just like growing up on the west side of Detroit, you know, I used to catch the finger bus all the time. I even caught the third road bus. I literally stayed at the end. I was writing raps on the bus. And just like, you say the wrong thing or you say something you're supposed to say, and that could be your life where I come from. So that's why I say before you do it, think carefully who it might affect, you know. And it also goes to show with the next line, because I know a whole bunch of people who's in jail or who has lost their lives because of things that they thought was the right thing to do. That's why I say, is it worth taking a risk for the velvet vet, you know. Even though I was born in the hood, I just feel like that's not always what I gotta be like. I work on a food truck and customers ask me, they say, let me hear your project voice. You know, I just laugh because what is that supposed to mean? You know, I graduated in the burbs, so like, to me, it doesn't really matter where you're from. That's why I say it's not about where you're from, it's about where you're going, you know, because would you rather fight for your life or fight for the things that you own? Like, tell me what's more valuable to you, you know. But I got 3 bars for you. I say, I had to sharpen up my mind, build my intellect. I survived through the jungle and the nonsense. Since I graduated, I've been living with no fine print. Momo, I do this for my major ever since I was a private. Because my major, she taught me, like, even though you in the hood and you doing this stuff, that don't mean nothing. You're bigger and you're better than this. You're going to go to things and the greater heights and achieve more stuff than you could ever believe. That's why whenever I'm out, she be like, I got something for you. I tell people all the time, she's like, watch this. And she just throw me out of word and I just start rhyming to it. And like, no matter where we at. We could be outside on a field trip in the hallways, and like, I survived through the jungle and the nonsense. I live in Ecorse now, and like, people I hang out with, even my roommate, you know, he got arrested a while ago, and like, I was through all of that, and I could have been in the cell with him, but you know what? I wasn't. I didn't get arrested that night, and I helped bail him out. And when I graduated, ain't nobody give me no manual on how to be a man and how to keep on going with life and how to get through there. Like, they shook my hand on stage and told me they didn't think I was going to do it. And thanks to my major, she still had faith in me to this day. And that's why I did it, to show them that no matter where you're from, you can still do it. Like, you know, for real.
All right, so you have a line in there. You say, I did it for my major ever since I was a private. Break down that.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, first foremost, major was my major. You know what I'm saying? I was the youngest. I was like 9th grade, second lieutenant. I had JRTC. And to this day, I just feel like all the stuff that she taught me, the stuff that she said to me, the things that she showed me, it still stick with me. So like, even though I'm grown and I'm no longer in a classroom, I no longer have a beret on in my uniform, but I still do this for my major ever since I was a private.
So that respect and that reverence is still there.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So there's something else I picked up on. You said, no matter, you could be out, you could be anywhere, on a field trip, on the bus, school bus, in the hallway, and major would just throw a word out.
Yeah, she would.
So that means she believed in you. Like, we're not talking about a lesson in the classroom. So we're not even in the class. We're on a field trip, right? And there's a certain decorum we're supposed to maintain on a field trip. No, I'm gonna give this young man a chance to shine. I'm just throw away. I'm gonna show everybody what he can do. Is that how? That's how I took it. Is that how you took it in the moment, or?
Look, I was ready for that all the time. You never know when it's gonna come. You don't know what you're doing or where you at. So when she hit you with, when you just hear that, watch this, then I just know it's coming. You want to see something? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Major, is this your first time hearing the lyrics?
Yes.
Okay. What was your reaction?
Mr. Nellums called me and told me that he wrote something about me, and I had to pull over because I was just being me. I think I identify with a lot of the kids that I serve because that Murray Wright is Frederick Douglass is my neighborhood. I grew up in the Brewster Projects, the PJs. And it was a natural progression for young people in the Brewster Projects to go to Frederick Douglass or Murray Wright, which became Frederick Douglass. So one of the Brewster Douglass housing projects, Murray Wright. So coming to the school, I saw a lot of possibility in my little people. And I looked at them as my soldiers originally. I was like, these are the soldiers I got. I got to snap them into shape. But they eventually became my family, my kids, my family, and that's how I looked at them. I think originally I tried to be, I did treat it like a military assignment. But as I transitioned and learned them and they learned me, our relationship grew. Like certain things I didn't know. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to give you guys my phone number. Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, stuff.
I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to put them in my car and take them home or feed them if they were hungry. I did not know that. I was just doing what I would have done if they were my private. Yeah.
Keith, give us your name, your background, so that people know that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My name is Ayana Morales Henderson. I retired from the United States Army after 24 years, 8 months, 15 days. I served as the senior advisor for the only all-male public high school in the state of Michigan for 3 years. And then I became the college transition advisor, and this is my first year as an English teacher.
Oh,
yeah.
So, Major, it looked like when you heard the recording for the first time, you got a little emotional. Is that safe to say?
That I had to pull over when Mr. Nellums told me. I was like, well, why would he write about me? I mean, there's so many other teachers. I was like, why, but I was shocked. I was shooken.
When you heard the verse,
it brought tears to my eyes. Just listening, I just thought it was amazing that somebody, he's 21, I'm 51. It's just amazing that something that I said resonated. It made me feel good. It made me feel like, this job is really more powerful than I maybe thought. Just amazing.
And so here you are as a student, former student always.
Alumni.
And the lessons that she taught in and out of the classroom, they're still with you.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that sounds like it will always be a part of it.
Always.
And it also sounds like it wasn't just the curriculum that was taught that stuck with you, but even outside of that is the real lesson that you learned, the relationship, the rapport that you all were able to build, and it's still paying dividends to this day for you.
Mm-hmm. Right. And she taught my cousin and both my uncles too. Yeah.
I just wanted Jamari to always know that he was smart, brilliant. I used to tell him, "You're brilliant. I know what these grades say. I know what this says, but you're brilliant."
and the kingdom may fall when they reminisce over you, my God. Remember was tripping, ambition really quite far. Them cloudy rainy days made me feel so small. Ironically, rapping made me feel 8 feet tall. But hop in the booth and leave it like Saw. But confidence was lacking, didn't have a foundation. You put faith in your boy, now I feel I'm the greatest. Didn't know what my calling was, you put me on stages. Right then, I could confirm I'm the greatest. Any problem can face it. Show me the lines, I traced them. Thought maybe I'm really nice and proceeded to Jason. Like every time I fall, I just get back to the races. Wash off with the sauce, I just so happen to face it. Probably wouldn't do this work, now I know what to do. Thank you sincerely, Quan, man, this verse was for you. In spectacular faction, it's time to take action. Who would've thought helping others would ever be a passion? I'm something like a fraction, divide and conquer with no gimmick. The pen sail well off the writtens. Get it, show you how to convert sales. I'm a chemist, finish. You a witness, ambition, Mary's precision. Hey, Quan found a genius, tapped in and now I see it. I knew I'm the best, honey, so I bear the title and be it. He's stinging on every beat, every bar come from the gifted. So rapping just ain't for Christmas. In booths, when I'm in it, it's fission. When I'm working, I take sales and I split it, it's different. We all winning as long as I'm independent. Listen, when I'm spitting, set fire to share his whips and glisten. When the sun hit, the melatonin hit different. Physics show you how to make a crowd move when I'm spitting.
You're no stranger to the bar exam. Break it down for us, man. Introduce yourself and then tell us what we got. Break down the content line by line if you can.
Yep, well, I'm Michael Siebert. This right here, my mentor, man. I met Nellums in 2011, my junior year. And man, we've been rocking and rolling ever since. And he done messed around and got me into the education world. And I was telling him, that's right. He'll tell you more than anybody, I was not trying to do it. I was like, yeah, like I like the work I do, but I feel like my work is outside of a classroom. It turns out it's almost like I was made for it for real. So, but let's go over these bars right here. I said, and the kingdom may fall when they reminisce over you, my God. Remember was tripping, ambition really quite far. Them cloudy rainy days made me feel so small. So when I met him, like I was going through a whole lot, like just in my life, like internally, like by this time I did ran away from the crib a couple times. Like I'm hanging in the streets. I'm sneaking out the crib so I can go do X, Y, and Z. Like it was really like I was on like a slope going down. I was going downward fast. And the way to really describe it is I felt like it's like you falling in a hole, right? But the hole doesn't end. Like there's no ground. And it's like, shit, I wish I could at least hit the ground so I know that I can go back up type of thing. It literally just felt like I was plummeting. So it wasn't until I actually got to Fred and I found out about this thing called Lyricist Society. I've been in the music. I've been doing music since 2003. Like that's when I first started doing music, learning how to make beats. I remember first program I used was called Super Duper Music Looper. And it was literally just a bunch of loops that you could put together and make a beat. I started getting so sweet with it. Like I would combine different loops to make like one piano sound like something completely different. Like, so Lyricist Society was like really my introduction and my outlet for all that creativity with music. So yeah, them cloudy rainy days made me feel so small. I was feeling small at that time. I said, ironically, rapping made me feel 8 feet tall, which shout out to Ron. And that's why I threw that little bar in there, ironically, you know. And just like them two together, like Quan and Ron together, like to me, that was my safe haven. That's all I wanted to do was rap. Like I said, since 03, I promise you, I got a box at the crib, an old shoe box. And it got everything I wrote from, I want to say about 3rd grade to 12th grade. So if I wrote it, it's in that box. Composition books, paper, all of that. So I can pull stuff from 04, paper all dilapidated and about to tear, but that's how long I've been writing. So Lyricist Society for me was like crazy. I'm like, hold on, I can record, I can write, oh, and I can perform. And it was like, it unlocked a confidence in me that I didn't even know I had. Like, I always felt like I could rap. I heard it my whole life. So I knew as far as just my pen being crazy, I knew that was the case. But it was something about being part of something that made me feel like I belong. So that was dope. I said, hoop, but hop in the booth and leave it like Saw. But confidence was lacking, didn't have a foundation. You put faith in your boy, now I feel I'm the greatest. Didn't know what my calling was, you put me on stages. Yo, expression is like a big thing for me. Because the reason I started writing was because I feel like I didn't have a way to express myself. I didn't really have people around me. And I don't want to discredit everybody because I did have some people around me who was trying to get to me, but they didn't really know me. So they didn't even really know how to get to me or how to reach me, the stuff I was interested in. It was just, well, if you need to talk, I'm here. But it's like, I don't feel like I can talk to you. So if I don't feel like I can talk to you, whether you mean well or not, I'm probably not going to talk to you. I've never been the most, expressive type of person because I grew up learning that you express yourself, people either use that against you or like it usually don't pan out well. So I don't know, y'all, because my phone keep working. So yeah, that was a big thing for me. I said, right then I could confirm I'm the greatest. Any problem can face it. Showed the lines and I traced them. Thought maybe I'm really nice and proceeded to Jason. Like every time I fall, I just get back to the races. Doing this forced me to like really step outside my comfort zone. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even being around like educators like y'all, like sometimes I still will find myself like, do I really even deserve to be in this seat? Like, do I really even deserve to like really sit next to these people? Because for me, like I said, that's just how I grew up. Like, I didn't have that confidence. Like, the only thing I had confidence in was music. So Lyricist Society allowed me to take the one thing that I was sure of, like the one thing that can't nobody tell. I don't care what you say. You cannot tell me I don't have a pen. Just that simple. I used to literally read the dictionary again, third grade, third, fourth, fifth grade, just so I could have a bigger vocabulary to pick from and express myself. Because I just felt like that would make me a better artist. If I got more words to use, then I'm probably going to have a better pen. So, and like to get back to the point where I was saying, like, sometimes I feel like I could be in these groups and don't feel like I belong, but I always seem to face the challenge. It's like I step up to the occasion regardless of how nervous I may be feeling, no matter how much. Sometimes my internal dialogue is like, man, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve this. But then I see stuff like this, like what we doing right now. And I'm honored to be a part of it. My boy. I remember when I first met this man. And Quan, what did I specifically said, like, that boy's something special. He nice. He nice. I can't remember what year it was, but it was like right after I graduated.
Talking about 8th grade year when I first got there.
Yep.
Yep. 2016.
Like, 'cause I was there in 7th grade. My uncle be out the
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it was like the little moments like that. Like, hold on, I can have some type of effect on somebody else. Like, there's somebody else who can actually look up to me. That's crazy. And now working with Reggie, dog, same thing with you. Like, I can tell when people got something special. You feel me? Like, I can definitely tell when people got something special. So yeah, man, just being put in this position, it then made me like step into the better version of myself, like evolve along the way the entire time. Let's see, I just get back to the races. Washcloth with the sauce, I just so happen to face it, which is basically just me saying like, oh, I realized like I'm good at this. I could do something with this. Like, that impact that I always felt like I should be making, I can do it through this. I just had to face it. Like, that internal dialogue that stopped me started to get quieter. Now I'm feeling myself. See, probably wouldn't do this work. Now I know what to do. Thank you sincerely, Quan, man. This verse was for you. Just that simple. I would have never thought that this would be something I was doing. And I said it in our last bar exam. Like, I got in trouble with it with my mama because I had an assignment, a writing assignment. And in that assignment, I wrote like I was sure that I was going to be dead or locked up. Positive. Wow. Positive. Like, that wasn't me looking for attention or nothing. I wrote in great detail, like this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going through, like based upon this is the most likely outcome. So obviously that bothered my teacher, and they let my mama know, and that turned into a whole nother thing. But yeah, man, like thank you. Thank you, dog. And I always try not to get emotional while I'm doing this, so I'm no, because it's passionate, man. Like, it's passionate, yo. Like, this saved my life. Straight up.
For real. I could be at home. I'd rather be at home writing music than... I tell them, like, if I'm at home writing music or if I'm at work, I ain't got no time to be in trouble because my time is already occupied. Like, seriously, I'd rather just play a game and write music. I literally play Madden and just have beats playing all the time. People come over there, hang out. We got beats playing. I work on a food truck. Even the guy say Flacco say he wants to make a song with me called The Three Amigos, me, him, and Anthony. And I said, come on, bro, whenever you're ready. I throw beats on. They be rapping sometimes after work, and like they just love it. They enjoy it. Even my boss, he calls me Pikachu. That's why in my song I said, yellow diamonds all up on the Glock. When I strike him, I'm like Pikachu. And that's it. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what you got.
I want to take this. I want to leave this for everybody. Sometimes you're on a path, even something as minute as, writing verses in public, and mumbling it in your head, and people looking at you like, what is this dude doing? But it isn't about what they're seeing currently. It's about your version of the end product. So even when, you're in that moment, it's like, do I deserve this? Do I deserve this? Do I deserve this? Don't worry about what you deserve. Worry about what you have. Currently, we all have this opportunity to be a part of the bar exam. So, like it or not, think you deserve it or not, we're here. So soak all of it in, every moment, because who knows if this will happen again. This could be one of a kind.
Hey, Quan. So I think by now everyone knows you, but introduce yourself. And you are the architect behind this project, behind this song, behind this concept. And you also are the architect behind the Lyricist Society program, which is the precursor to this project that we've heard these three students speak about. So give us a little bit and then tell us how you felt being honored by one of the inaugural members of Lyricist Society, and Mike, as he wrote lyrics honoring you.
So my name is Quan Nellums. This is my 20th year in education. Spent 15 years in the classroom, 5 years as a counselor. I started Lyricist Society back in 2010. The first song was recorded in 2010, Black History, right? But I'll go back a little bit further. I was actually the first Lyricist Society member. When I was 17 years old, there was it wasn't called Lyricist Society. It was just me and my boys. But there was a local DJ from Chaos and Maestro. His name is Maestro. He was Maestro of Chaos and Maestro. It was a founding rap group here in Detroit. His name is Jason Wilson. What he did, he saw what me and my boys was doing. We was rapping, and he liked what he heard. He invited us to the studio. First time in the studio, I remember getting into the booth, and it was just like, I think he said Spider-Man and Peter Parker, whatever. And I felt like I went in there as Clark Kent, and when I went in there, I was Superman. I was like, I started, rhyming more aggressive and everything. And I was like, yo, what is this? And when I heard it, I was like, man, I didn't realize I had a voice until I heard it. So just like Mike said, it made me want to learn more. It made me want to know more words, and just being able to record and sound a certain way. And so it made me a better student. It made me more confident. I believe it made me a better writer, smarter, right? And so that was me at the age of 17. And so when I became a teacher, I knew that I wanted to replicate that for my students. And so working with young men at Frederick Douglass, there was a lot of talent, and we had a band, but a lot of the cats were like, well, I don't want to do the band, but they had musical talent. And so I was like, all right, let's see what we can do. I got a little background in hip hop, and so I invited my friends, Ron Lee, he knew how to make beats, he knew how to record and stuff. And I said, all right, let's just write. And so kids, the students who were involved, they wrote. Mike, his group that came in, being led by Mike, they brought a new element into it. Like they had a live band. They had, that's when they really started performing. Like, we weren't performing before that, And so Mike, we went to school, so we went around the schools performing and everything. And so that was an element that I added to the Lyricist Society was the performance piece. And every group since that, Mike's group, I always tried to give them an opportunity where they can perform somewhere, because that was another point, being able to exhibit what you wrote. That makes you, I think it makes you take it even more serious. And so after hearing Mike's verse, man, first of all, I was honored. I've been rocking with Mike since 2011. And then the thing is that when he left for school, I knew he was locked in, because when he left to go to Bowling Green, like I said, man, I need you to, we was doing the kids that were in Lyricist Society after he left, they was doing a documentary called From Minstrels to MCs. And it was about, but you can check that out on lyricistsociety.com. But I said, I need an interview. And from his dorm room, he's like, all right, I got you. So, he tapped in, did an interview from his dorm room. I don't think it was Zoom. I don't know what it was. Skype. It was Skype or something. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And so we were recording. And then, when he came back from school, he would always come in to help out with the students. And I told Mike then, I said, man, you ever thought about, working with kids and stuff, and say, hey, nah, that's what you said, like, nah, man. I said, but, you weren't,
I was adamant about not doing it.
Yeah.
Let me do the music. That's it.
Yeah. So when I heard the verse, like everything that I was hearing, I was like, man, I'm picturing seeing Mike doing it. And, Mike, he became a leader, man. I appreciate it. He's been my co-facilitator for Lyricist Society. We've done it at the North Activity Center for hundreds of kids, and Mike was a lifesaver, because the kids gravitated towards Mike. And even then I was like, Mike, you're natural with these middle schoolers. Middle school is a very difficult, tough age. And so and Mike was, and they loved him, and he knew what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're not gonna say the name, but we're not gonna say it, but shout out to her. Yeah, she was, but for me, she gave me a problem, but for Mike, she was all smiles and spice and cinnamon and everything. So, seeing Mike, and being a natural with that, I felt that, and so when the opportunity came, I think he took it, man, and just what I predicted, he fell in love with it, and I think he's been working with students since 2021 maybe, 2020. All right, yeah, 2020.
My third school year.
Yep.
So here's a bow. I think a note on which we can end it, man. I heard Chadwick Boseman say these lines in reference to Denzel Washington, and it is. I get the quote right, is let he who has watered be watered, right? And so this is a great example of that for those who are the subject of these rhymes. You all have watered, you all have poured into these students, and this was a great opportunity for you to be watered, to, as Reggie put it, be giving your flowers. And so, I could feel the emotion in the room. I could feel the emotion in the lyrics. I could feel the emotion at the table. And I think that, Quan, for you to have engineered this project and quarterbacked this, and for the artists to have put their all into these lyrics, and to the teachers who've inspired these students to even have such lyrics, I think it's a project well done. What we hope is that this is a testament, if whoever's viewing this, that this is an artifact that we can see, that we can glean from, that we can take from, and that we can be inspired by this in whatever our professional or vocation is. Because it's not limited to teaching. It's not limited to the specific subjects that were taught or expressed at this table, but just in general, pouring into the lives of young people. So thank you to everyone who was involved in the project. And thank you to the artists, to the teachers, and to you, Quan, for putting it all together.
Thank you.